I'll begin like how I started last time. So I'll start with a read of your auric field and just as, to see what's possible and what's present. And then I'll leave space. I'll share with you and then I'll leave space for you to ask any kind of questions you might want to ask. And you can ask anything.
Can.
Okay? All right. So when you're ready, you can close your eyes. Together with me, you can take 3 deep breaths at your own time, your own pace. Okay, I'll begin, all right?
Okay.
I've never seen this color before in a reading, but I'm seeing aquamarine turquoise, and it feels like the feeling is like the Caribbean. It's very, very relaxed, very chill, and there's something around like the throat, and it feels like a call to come back to singing, to sharing your voice as medicine. And it doesn't necessarily feel like conversation, but it feels like it's an outpouring of your voice. The image I get is like someone going to a museum to bathe in arts. And it's like the um reflective image is like people lying down and just receiving the medicine of your voice. I have the memory of being in Shavasana and you singing to us, and it's like the most cradling experience of a Shavasana. Like your voice cradles through its quality of just very chill, very light. It's not light without depth, but there is a lightness and also a depth to your voice, and it's it feels also like the alchemical composition and qualities of your voice when you are sharing in this way. It fills up people's whatever it is that feels like it's depleting or draining, your voice very naturally fills that up. So that's coming in quite strongly and at the forefront. Um, I'm seeing the same green that I saw the last time when I read with you, closer to the feet, closer to the lower chakras, the roots actually. And it's like grass green. It's quite bright. And the sense is like innocence, and it's not attached to outcome. It's wanting to do something simply because it like the doing of it is sharing who you are and being true to yourself. It's sharing your essence. And it feels like this energy here, there is no attachment to the outcome of the action. It just wants to do because it's truthful. And it comes from a very, very innocent place. There is also a color that's hovering just like off the side of the green, like a reddish pink. And it feels like in this reddish pink is where attachment is. It's like the green cannot just be wholehearted and 100% share itself in this way because of this filter. So it's almost like um when you're seeing things or when you are looking, when you're the way you look at things, there is half of the vision, there is an unconscious filter that wants love, wants to be reciprocated, wants to be loved. And it's because of that, the green doesn't just get to naturally express itself wholeheartedly. Um, but it also feels like the reddish pink color can be soothed, it can be spoken to. It's not rigid in itself, like it can be transformed, and I'm seeing it transform into a baby pink, like a sakura color, and it feels like actually all it wants is attention and it wants to be seen and it wants to be loved, and actually it's by you. So there's this message that so long you accept yourself in spite of any situation, any outcome, if you accept yourself, if you accept your expression unconditionally, this green is able to just fully express itself. And it feels like when you come into this space, you really are embodying the potential and living into the potential of who you are here to be in this moment, in this season. There is also a depth to, I think, it's like midnight blue, almost black behind all the colors, and it feels like it's dark for sure, but it's not dark like heavy. It's very silent, very sure of itself. It's like a certainty of like I am. Um, and it feels like that is the divinity within you that knows that everything you do, no matter what you do, everything you feel, it's source knowing itself, source experiencing itself. So it's like, okay, I'll let myself feel. I won't resist it. Even if you do resist things, you'll come to a point where you don't, because you just go through the experience, and it feels like it comes from this it's a wise sage energy, the midnight blue. And it's like maybe, like the energy of darkness. Like darkness may know that not everyone likes it. Like people prefer the sun because it helps the crops grow, etc., etc. But darkness is also necessary, even if it's like bitter medicine for some people, although some people do like it. It's very unapologetic in itself, whereby it just shows up again and again and again. um and it feels like there is a part of you that is just like that, you show up as you again and again and again, even if you know that there is a risk involved, that in the background you're unconscious, this feels like it's playing out, whereby for the greater good, or because it's the right thing to do. There is an integrity to this, in your actions, in the way you present yourself. There is a real depth of integrity. And as such, it's what creates the beauty of your presence, and also the trust of your presence. Like people know that, and you know that you can trust you, because you know that at the base of everything, whether you're aware of it or not, there is a very unwavering sense of integrity there. And then the next thing that's coming up is faith. Just faith feels like it's overarching everything that I've just said. Like there is just a film, or it's not a cloud, it's like a film, a translucent whitish film, that everything you do, there is faith involved. It's like your actions might require for you to leap off one cliff onto another. And that's how you move around the world. It's like these leaps. It's not a step, but it's a leap. But time and time again, every leap takes you to the next place that you are meant to go. So it's like faith feels like it's driving your every choice, every movement. The momentum of you is like faith is on the accelerator along with you. It feels like yellow seems to be emerging somehow as I brought in faith. And it's almost like when you wholeheartedly, fully offer yourself to the faith that you have, and allow the potential of your faith to be lived out in the world. That's when you experience the greatest joy that you've not yet experienced, actually, because this feels like potential. You have tasted it, but it's not to its fullness. And to get to the end of it, or the continuation of it, because there is no end, it just goes on and on and on, the joy. um it really requires a very deep knowing being of faith. And that's where, yeah, you will experience this very, very innate, deep, light, childlike joy. And it feels like that in itself is the path to remembering who I really am, who you truly are.
Do you have any general messages for me?
Yeah. Do not rush to come outside of your cave. You're in your cave. You're in this cave for during this period for it's you're building foundation. You're building something internally that's intangible. And even though to your mind it might feel like it's too long, it's taking as long as it needs, and it doesn't have a deadline or schedule that's managing it, but it will take as long as it's truthful for it to take. And when it's time to go out, you don't have to think about a conscious effort to go out. It's going to happen. Just let yourself come to the end of it naturally, and naturally you're going to transition into a more outgoing phase. And it's also, I would say, like astrologically, it's the last couple of days of Scorpio season. So just let yourself um really immerse in it until you don't want to anymore. It's not going to be any kind of a pull from your part. Like, okay, this is too long, this is too much, let's go out. Um, the impulse will come naturally. So continue taking the time and the alone time you need, because it feels like during this period when you're alone, you're going to receive more than if you were to connect for the sake of connecting. I don't feel you do that at all, but it feels like it's even more potent for you to take time to yourself. And maybe is that like you start exploring recording to the like to the likes of Chandra Seba. You start playing around with it already, since you're by yourself. uh and then receive, like whatever you record, play it for yourself as you lie down, just receive your own medicine. Mm.
The way my body just relaxed hearing.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Oh my God, so nice.
Hmm.
Mm,
Yeah, what came when you said about recording? I realized that because I've been listening to a lot of light language.
mm,
Then when you said play it back to myself, it was like, whoa, this mind blown moment where
mm.
when I sing, I'm already releasing from my body. And then when I get to hear it back, it's like I am receiving the medicine again.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
Mm. Wow. Okay. So cool.
It feels like a message from your ancestors coming in. So I'm just wondering if it's speaking through her. I'm hearing remember your power, but it goes deeper than that. You have a right to feel how it is that you feel. Don't take that away from yourself. And know that what you feel is not you. It's simply what you feel. It doesn't create your identity. So don't give more meaning to that either. And it's simply being present in feeling what you're feeling in every moment, and then letting that feeling move through you. And sometimes the feelings will move you. If you're feeling that and that feels like it's your truth, it aligns with your principles and your values, then let the feelings move you. Otherwise, let the feelings move through you. But there is no need to hold on to anything, and we hold on by resisting and by over analyzing, over intellectualizing. That doesn't serve us. You are the most powerful. You are a woman onto yourself when you are very honest with yourself about the ongoings of your inner world, not making excuses for yourself and not, um, like cutting corners, but that there is a deep integrity in how you take action in a way that uh, affects others, and also an integrity to yourself to be so honest to yourself. And sometimes it may feel like these two are conflicting. Actually, they are not. Um, when and I feel like that's why in this period of time it's necessary for you to be inward more than to let external suggestions and opinions come into your field, because there is a deep, deep wealth of wisdom that is accessible to you. And when you are able to accept how it is that you feel, it's very clear for you on how to take action. And sometimes, sometimes what we feel it comes from us creating thoughts based on our past experiences. It feels like right now it's important for you to be as present as you can. So being aware whenever you are creating images from the past and projecting them onto the future, and to be very disciplined with yourself in that and coming back to the present moment. Recognize actually what's going on in this present moment. And it feels like that will relieve you of feelings like anxiety, uncertainty, because there is no need to feel those things like they are being conjured. Instead, you're making room for what's really here. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Mm.
Feels like balancing the hopes and dreams that I have for the future,
Mm.
the desires, together with just simply being present in each moment. Because that's all I can really do at the end of the day, right? Yeah, it's weird though. After the session last week, I feel like the shifts didn't feel big in the session, but it's like, okay, it is beginning a ripple.
Yeah.
That's when I had the 4 days of being in my room.
Yeah.
And I really felt like, whoa, the desire, it makes sense why I suppressed it, because it's like so
Yeah.
big.
Yeah.
And I just allowed it to be felt. And
Yeah.
with that also came a lot of grief and fear. Because I think when I don't let myself want, I feel numb.
Mm.
I don't feel so much joy, but I also don't feel so much pain, like the disappointment or the fear of my desire not being met.
Mm. Yeah.
Yeah, but it felt like this new way of being where even if I cannot get what I want in the way that I hope to get it, it hurts me more to not let myself want it than to pursue
Mm,
it and then quote unquote fail.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
There's this like the full energy coming through.
Yeah.
Mm.
And it's like finish the cycle. And same for this period of time, like finish this cycle. Let yourself finish it.
Mm.
Yeah. And it's a very felt sense when you're at the end of it. And the next moment is a new cycle again already. So like just finish everything. Finish
Mm.
all your emotions all the way to the end.